And the survey says insurance is keeping a lot of home buyers out of the market. If you do your research, you find out, oh, I can afford a 1.5 or $2 million house, just barely. And then you go and talk to your insurance company and say, hey, I'm buying a house. How much is a $2 million house going to cost? Well, it depends. If you're in the forest, it's going to be a little bit more than if you live in suburbia or downtown. So 75% of recent and prospective home buyers are concerned about homeowners insurance becoming unaffordable. Half face or expect to face trouble obtaining or renewing insurance. It's a problem with homeowners right now. It's a problem with landlords right now. It's a problem altogether. It's not just in California, it's all over. Insurance has gotten way out of hand, and it's making it unaffordable for most Americans to be able to buy insurance for their home. It's sad. Here's the thing. Homeowners insurance has risen in cost over the past few years. This is a survey over 1,000 people over 18. And, it depends on if you're looking at Gen X or boomers or what have you. But generally speaking, they say that insurance is going to be a problem. Expect to pay more for homeowners insurance in the future. Yet everything's going to go more expensive. Cost of living faced recent challenges obtaining homeowners insurance. A full 1 out of 5 people buying home insurance have had problems, challenges, absolutely, or even renewing it. I know somebody down the street, we started talking about selling her house a few months ago because insurance got out of hand. As a matter of fact, she got canceled by one insurance company and she was crazily trying to find new insurance. And that's a problem. Insurance should not be the reason why you can't afford a house. And it's horrible that that's happening. It's just like what's happening in Vegas right now. It's like their income is down 15%. The travelers have stopped going to Vegas because of all the nickel and diming that's happening in Vegas. When you go to Vegas, you expect to be entertained. You expect to do this. You expect to do that. But paying $30 for a cup of coffee or $50 to park your car or $50 resort fee, all these nickel and dime things are going to kill your experience for going to Vegas, and you're going to opt to go somewhere else. If you have that gambler bug, you're still going to go. If you get nickeled about every little thing, it's going to be annoying, which translates loosely into if you have a house that needs work, people don't want to deal with that kind of crap right now. They want a house that's turnkey, that's beautiful, that's model ready, move in ready. If you don't, you're not going to get what you expect. So there's a bigger divide these days, especially with the rates being as high as they are. Even though rates have come down, the economy's weak, but it's a case to be more aggressive. I've been telling you this for, 3 years. And this is on Bigger Pockets. Weak job growth reported early September is the latest data point to a softening economy. What does that mean? Should you stop investing? Will the housing market crash? Does the recession loom just over the horizon? It doesn't matter. I mean, look, if you can't afford a house, you're not going to buy a house, right? But if you're not thinking about that, you're not thinking about a job layoff or my income's not going to be a problem. If you're thinking about what you can do with your money, and buying a house might be it. We're seeing lower rates. You can buy the rate down. You can have the seller concession give you points towards lowering the interest rate. So if you're an investor, this is a smart time to buy. Yesterday, we talked about 30% of the homes, 36% of home buyers were investors in 25 so far, first half of the year, right? Investors aren't afraid of the economy. That should be a warning siren call to you. If you're a home buyer and you're not worried about being laid off, this is a time to buy, right? Yes, insurance is going to suck. Rates are going to suck. But you can come in and you can discount. You have less competition, right? Actually, I have the house I put on market on Friday, I already have an offer, right? I priced it right for the condition. When you prevent me from doing my job, you're going to get lackluster results. If you force me to have a high listing price, and you get crickets for 90 days, it's not my fault. You will have buyers. There are buyers out there. There's a lot of people out there buying, from mom and pop investors to home buyers to institutional buyers. You just have to understand that when the market contracts, you got to roll with it. And the number one reason why homes don't sell is hubris, seller ego. My house is worth $1.6 million. Well, guess what? Times change. So you're going to see discounted pricing. Just like in the stock market, prices go up, prices go down, prices go up, prices go down. It's the same thing in the housing market. And you got to work with it on the market. You got to work with what a buyer is willing to pay for it, not what you think your house is worth. And there is less new supply. Some real estate investment resists recessions. Not every real estate investment is recession resilient. Class B multifamily. So, okay, this is going into commercial, right? You're not talking about fourplexes, duplexes. We're talking about 6 to 200, 400, 500 unit apartments, commercial strip malls. All that is resistant to what's going on in the housing market because it has nothing to do with the housing market. It has everything to do with increasing the value of my stakeholder and stockholders' value. It's a totally different business model. So if you're thinking about buying into something like that, look into syndications. Syndications is something where you're an accredited investor. It means you're worth more than $1 million or you make more than $200,000 a year. You can actually invest in syndications. I have a video on financial intelligence, which is another blog I run, that goes through what I'm doing to invest in syndications and why it's smart and it's scary because there's a lot more risk involved. But think about it. Don't try to time the market. Absolutely not. The best time to buy a house is on the downward slope. When's the next best time? When it's in an upward slope, because you can't time the top or the bottom. You just never know. I'm looking at doing US 30 trading with a friend of mine. I'm learning it right now. And the docent, the guy that's talking about it, he's all over the place talking about this and being a sniper, and it's way over my head, but I've only done it for 2 weeks. So, I figure in 2 months, I'll be far more educated on what's going on, but don't try to time the market because you can't. You're going to be a loser. This episode is brought to you by the Homebuyers Checklist. If you haven't done so already, download this and have it in your pocket. It's a downloadable PDF that allows you to go through open houses and all the houses you want to look at and check what that house has and what that house doesn't have. And it even talks about smells and cracks in walls and this and that. So you can actually look deeply into each house as you go through it. And then later on in the day or in the evening, you could talk about which house has what. Los Gatos House of the Week. This is not near Santa Cruz. It's a little bit of a drive. This one is New York Ave, not my listing, $3.8 million, 4-bedroom, 3 full bath, built in 2007, and it's 2,466 square feet. And it's a Craftsman. Almost had a brain fart there. This is a nice house. I love the wood kitchen. I'm a wood guy. I don't like painted. If your house is old and dated and your kitchen is original, yeah, you should paint it if you're going to sell it. But if it's new and newly updated, I like granite. I'm not a fan of quartz. I don't like painted kitchens. So that's a beautiful kitchen to me. And this looks a little dated, but that's okay. And the little built-in office / bedroom, that looks a little dated too, but here you go. You're Los Gatos. This is affordable. We'll see how long this one takes to sell, but there you go. It's in Santa Teresa area by Sakamoto Elementary, and that's Nob Hill right there, Santa Teresa High School. So it's west of Santa Teresa High School on a drive, and it's listed at $1.6 million, 50 days on market. Don't be a market leader, attract the market. If you list it high, it's going to sit on market and you're going to think your agent's an idiot, but you're the one that controls the price. I learned that a long time ago. If you priced your house too high, buyers are going to look at that and 50 other houses, and they're not going to go into your house. They might take a look at your house, but they'll be in there for 2 or 3 minutes and they'll be like, yeah, no, absolutely not what I'm looking for. Even though it's updated. Yeah, see, this isn't even updated. When you have tile on the counters, especially the 4-inch tile, it's an indicator that you haven't done anything to your house. And you have white appliances. It's a nice house. There's nothing wrong with it. It just needs to be updated. You got to get rid of that Miami Vice tile glass here, and you got to get rid of this funky black tile and get rid of the stupid awning. They want open space. Look, there's nothing wrong with the format of the shower, except for the fact that the tile is 20, 30 years old. Didn't do a floor plan either, so shame on you. Speaking of which, I have to go do that. There it is. This guy right here. This allows me to do a floor plan. They don't even make these anymore. I'm waiting for this thing to die, and then I'll buy a new one. But it is a 360 camera. It allows me to I can do video if I wanted to. I don't really do that. I do 360 floor plan with the 3